At this time, I call the Order Governing Board Annual Organization and Regular Governing Board meeting. Is first we have the Pledge of Allegiance. Ms. Guzman, can you please lead us in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Governing Board President Ms. Patricia Jimenez,
Present.
Governing Board Clerk Ms. Maria Guzman,
Present.
Governing Board Member Mr. Rudy Santa Cruz,
Present.
Governing Board Member Ms. Maria Hernandez,
Present.
and Governing Board Member Mr. Harry Gerwel.
Present.
Thank you. Next, approval of January 11th, 2024 Governing Board Annual Reorganization and Regular Governing Board meeting. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Call for the vote. Motion carries. Next, approval of December 14th, 2023 regular governing board meeting minutes. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion, changes? Hearing none, call for the vote. Motion carries. Next is governing board reports. First up is Ms. Guzman.
I just want to welcome everybody back from your vacations. I had a vacation. I just didn't do nothing. So welcome back. No report. Thank you.
Next, Mr. Santa Cruz.
Thank you. I just want to wish everybody happy holidays. A little belated, but hopefully everybody got rested up. I want to take the opportunity right now and thank all the principals and teachers for the outstanding effort they did on the grades of the schools. It takes a lot of effort, and I really appreciate them. So principals, make sure and tell your staff that as board members, I really appreciate that for the hard work that you've done, and especially um, Dr. Ventura for his leadership. I talked to him earlier, and most people want things done like tomorrow. It doesn't happen that way. It's taken us a long time, but we got there. So it's a great achievement, especially coming from an inner city school. Not that we're any less than anybody else, but it takes special teachers and special principals uh, to do a good job. So I just want to thank the principals and teachers. They did an excellent job. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, Mr. Garwell.
Yes, Madam President. I too just want to welcome everybody and wish you a belated Happy New Year's. Looks like we're going to have a very good 2024 moving forward. And I think that we've got a lot of the foundations in place to continue the successes that we've been having over the last couple of years. So again, appreciation to the leadership and appreciation to all the staff, but even more so to the kids. They're the ones that help us to be successful, right? So a couple of things I wanted to share with you. We had the state of the state on Monday with Governor Hobbs. So there were three things in particular I thought were important and germane to our conversations here. And the first one is that, they were still having this voucher dispute. So that's going to have a negative impact on us because originally they thought that the vouchers were going to be somewhere around $60 million in a year. Well, we're at already at 600 million. So it means that we're in a deficit as far as, the budget. And guess what? Guess what starts getting hit, right? All the different services, wraparound services, education start getting impacted. So it's important for us to stay apprised of what's going on there. And then the second priority that she actually highlighted was affordable housing. And since we've had the success that we had, with Esperanza Terrace, I thought, this was a great way for us to look at it because we have a template now. We have a model that we can, be able to go forward. And I know we have an item on the agenda today we're going to discuss. But also, one of the things that was brought up was last year, we spent $150 million into the state housing trust. And so one of the things that the governor is looking for, and we're hoping she's going to get support for, is the ways to be able to go out and mitigate some of the obstacles for getting affordable housing or workforce housing as we know it. Right now, the average price for a house is $500,000. Think about that for a minute. 500,000. How much money you got to make to pay a mortgage on that? One of the other things that she brought up that I thought was really important for us is that they're looking at ways to address the whole zoning issue without some of the impediments that we find, that city government puts in. And in particular, why that's important is we still have 5 acres just down the street from us that could be built into multifamily housing. We also have 27 single-family residential properties south of McDowell, over by the fire station that have been there since, the I-10 went through. How long has I-10 been in place? So, we have an opportunity to go talk to the city and say, look, we have this shortage in our neighborhoods. We have, abilities to go out and do it. And so I'm going to help as much as I can try to get that kind of legislation pushed through. The last thing, which is I think really important, is the fact that we're now looking at an additional $4,000 in salary for teachers. Way overdue, but we're still going to be at the lower end of teacher salaries throughout the United States. So I just thought those are three things in particular that, from the perspective of the board, we ought to be following, and the session just getting started. So hopefully we can sign a diet with success on all three of those. So with that, Madam President, that's the end of my report.
Thank you. Ms. Hernandez?
Yes, I'd like to take the opportunity to welcome everybody back as well. Happy holidays. I hope you guys were able to get plenty of rest and a little bit off your minds. Come back with that ambition to face the New Year's challenge that we're about to face this year. I know you guys put in a lot of hard work, all our principals and our teachers, and even our staff that we have that work so uh, hard together to get the school back in rhythm. Kids, when they leave all hyper and they come back and you got to wind them back down and get them back into the rhythm of it's back to school time. So I'm grateful and I'm thankful to each and every one of you. And also, I'd like to also acknowledge Ms. Lopez as well too for the good work she's doing with our parent educators, getting out there, getting our parents where they need to be and the families to the resources that they need. So just welcome back, everyone, and let's try to have a good 2024 year.
Thank you. Next is myself. Kind of echo everybody. Welcome back. Hopefully you rested. I do want to thank everybody for being here. Because of you, we are who we are today. So thank you very much. I didn't mention last time, but I had a blast of visiting the schools. Thank you, Dr. Ventura and Dr. Lilly, and visiting, Estrella Brillantes. Oh, sounds cool. Estrella Brillantes. It was nice to see how the staff, sometimes we don't get to interact. So I truly appreciate every one of you. Um, Thank you for the newsletters. I was looking at them today. I love how we have them translated into English and Spanish. It's really great to see everything that we're doing at the schools. Also, I'm looking forward to our groundbreaking, which is going to be the 2nd of February. I also I was invited to attend the Capitol also on Monday, and it was an honor to be there. And I don't know if you guys knew, but our governor has a twin sister. I didn't know that. And I was talking to her and she's like, I'm her twin sister. So I'm like, okay. So I felt kind of okay. But it was nice to be out there because as the first district in Arizona to have affordable housing, they reach out to us and tell us, what did you guys do? How did you guys do it? So it was very exciting. So I'm looking forward to the ground breaking. Also, as you guys know, I'm running for city council. I'm one of the candidates, and I've been networking and meeting a lot of people. And it's great that I'm always showcasing Isaac and the people that I meet. Can we go out there? Can we do this? And I'm always looking for ways to come to our district. And if they want to pilot something or do something, it's just amazing. So I'm really passionate about Maryville. I'm really passionate about serving my community. So when I get to meet these developers and they want to come and do things at Isaac. I think it's just amazing. I also was yesterday, and I was nominated to be the vice chair of the Maryville Village Committee. And I'm like, I hope I don't do much because I have enough on my plate. But it's just great, you know. There's a lot of things that we want to do, not because, you know, we have a great board, we have a great leader, and I know and great staff. So you know, education and like Mr. Santa Cruz mentioned, you know, we work all the time and we still want to get higher and maintain the grades that we have. And I know, and I truly, you know, trust in all of you, and that's why I truly always appreciate that you guys choose Isaac to be here, you know, to be here at Isaac. And thank you again. And the last thing that I'm going to say is that my son is getting married. so, so do I have time? No, I don't have time, but he's getting married. So, and that's it. Thank you. Okay, next up is superintendent update. Dr. Ventura.
Madam President, members of the board, and I as a community, I'd like to start off with first letting you know that yesterday, January 9th, we had our promotores, parent educators at the HOI. They celebrated 3 Kings Day event. And this is an event where our promotores led this initiative to bring in parents to our HOI, and we gave away 97 toys to families. I'm sorry, we gave away 97 to 97 families, 226 toys were distributed. So this is, again, cultural for us. It was significantly culturally for us, but it's great to see our families engaged and how we really go above and beyond to help our families. And again, recognize and honor their culture. Secondly, today was Data Day. I'm always really excited. We come back from our winter break and people are actually anxious and excited to look at data. It wasn't always like that. And so I want to thank all of our leaders, our teachers who embrace the data because it shows us how we're doing and what we need to do to be better for our kids. So I love how this district embraces continuous improvement and how they are willing to go above and beyond for our students. And then finally, this January in our nation is School Board Recognition Month. And we are very blessed, as you can see, that we have an amazing board. I feel blessed to work here. They really care about our community. They go above and beyond. They do not get paid. I always remind you folks every several times a year, our board, they are here on as volunteers. They work, they go out work to get elected, and they serve. They are here to make sure that they are the voice for the community. And you know they hold us accountable, and I embrace that because that's I chose to work here and take on some responsibilities, and one of them is the big one is academic achievement, and we work tirelessly to make sure that that happens for our kids. But there's other things, having opportunities for our kids, having opportunities for our families. All those are very, very important, and our board embraces that and allows us to do this great work that we do. So, with that, I'd like to invite the board to come forward, and we have a little gift for all of you, along with the plants that we have. If you could come up to the front.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank
That concludes my report.
Thank you. Next is new business information, discussion, and action. The first item on the agenda is the annual reorganization of the board, election of the president. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. It has been our practice, all nominations will be made on the floor. Any board member may place a name or nomination. Neither a motion nor a second is required for the nomination, but a majority vote it is required. So at this time, do I have any nominations on the floor for president?
Madam President, I'd like to nominate Maria for president.
Which Maria?
Guzman, sorry.
Okay. Is any other nominations?
Madam President, I'd like to nominate Harry Gerwal for president.
Okay. Is there any other nominations? Okay, I'm gonna say it one more time. Is there any other nominations? Okay, Ms. Guzman, do you accept the nomination?
Yes, I do.
Mr. Garwell, do you accept the nomination?
I do with great pleasure, Madam President.
Okay. So now what we're gonna do, um, I'm gonna start first with Ms. Guzman. So all those in favor as for Ms. Guzman as president, say aye.
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 And all those opposed?
Aye.
No, I mean,
Opposed?
opposed. So it's, so we already have opposed. Yeah, that,
Opposed.
okay,
Aye. Yeah.
okay. So we have three ayes and one opposed. Two opposed, I'm sorry. Okay, now, we're gonna say with Mr. Harry. So all those in favor for Harry to be president, say aye.
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 Okay, all those and not in favor, say nay.
Nay.
Nay. Okay, so at this time, we have Ms. Guzman with the majority. So at this time, is there a motion to declare Ms. Guzman as board president?
So moved.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Okay, so now at this time, I call for the vote. Okay, so Ms. Guzman, congratulations.
Thank you.
So before we rotate, we're gonna get the clerk and then I'll give you the gavel. Okay, now, same thing. The second item of the agenda is the annual reorganization of the board, election of the clerk. Is there a motion? Oh, I'm sorry. So at this time, do I accept any nominations for clerk?
Madam President,
Yes?
I nominate Miss Maria Hernandez.
Okay. Is there any other nominations? Is there any other nominations? One more time, any other nominations?
Can I nominate myself?
No, you already know.
You already
Oh.
got it.
Okay.
That's any opposition for you.
Okay, okay.
You're the only one on the floor. So,
Right. Okay.
so now, all those in favor, oh, Miss Hernandez, do you accept the nominations to be the board clerk?
I do. Thank you.
Okay,
Appreciate it.
so since she's the only one, we declare her as the board clerk by acclamation.
Absolutely.
So now I'm gonna call for the vote. Is there, ready? Call for the vote. Is there a motion to declare her?
So moved.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Okay, now call for the vote. Okay, well, congratulations, and I want to congratulate the both Marias. So, now we do the moving.
Do the switch. Yes, pack your bag.
I'm gonna take it home.
You have to log in on that one over there? Do they have to,
That's a water? That's not my water.
they have to switch it up?
Water. Do we have to switch computers when we vote?
Yes. Yeah.
So,
Yeah, otherwise you'll be
Yeah.
voting in
Pass me my
somebody else's
water.
place.
which one is it?
That one, yeah.
Go ahead.
That one was.
And it's
I know, I'm hot too. Sweating.
Or, yeah, and then that's Maria's.
That goes here, yeah.
a little bit, don't freeze us.
Grab that a second.
This goes to her.
They'll take.
Thank you.
Y la dejó calientita.
Estaba sentadita ahí.
Yeah.
You ready? Item C is recommendation to the governing board to approve an option agreement for the purchase of Kazan Learning Center located at 2941 North 43rd Avenue, Phoenix, Arizona, 85019. Dr. Mario Ventura, Superintendent. Is there a motion?
So moved.
There a
Second.
There's no motion, it's just information
action.
discussion. Oh, I'm sorry. Second, yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. Second, I'll second it. I'm like, I'm into it.
You're not the president.
I didn't see the
I know,
action.
huh?
Let me get my glasses. Sorry, Ms. Guzman.
Dr. Ventura? Oh, do we get a
Is there
vote?
a
No.
motion?
Yeah, there's a motion and a second.
Okay. Madam President, members of the governing board. So as Mr. Guerrero mentioned earlier, we were kind of the first in working as a district in an urban school setting to provide affordable housing for the community. And we are following in that same model, looking to expand this type of activity, bring attainable housing, affordable housing into our community. And right now we are being asked by UMOM, a subsidiary of UMOM, to approve this agreement, which would allow them to go out and seek funding for a project similar to what we did at Esperanza Terrace. The agreement is just allows them to go out and seek funding, but it does not by any means tie us into having to sell the land. We have options still, but this gets the ball rolling, so to say, as far as moving things forward, allowing us to move forward, find funding, and to see if we can have another affordable housing project within our community.
Thank you. Is there any question from the board?
Madam President, I do have a question.
Ms. Jimenez?
And this is actually for Ms. Lynn. I don't remember back in the day, but remember there's kind of like an agreement with Kazan that we needed to have. Can you just kind of explain what the agreement was?
Yes, Madam President, Ms. Jimenez. I don't know all the details of the agreement. We are, as we speak, looking for a copy of this agreement. Like you, I was not here when it was signed. My understanding is that as part of the donation of the land, that we would have some sort of educational services provided there. I don't know if there was an expiration date or anything like that at this time, and we are looking for a copy of that agreement.
Yeah, because I do remember like if we didn't have something educational, that would take the land away from us.
Yes.
So that's something that I think it's very important that we look into and we find it.
Madam President?
Dr. Ventura?
Yes, so very similar. We are aware of that stipulation, and just like we did with Esperanza Terrace, the way we worked on this project is we had some say. You know, once we sell the land, obviously it's no longer ours. However, in this project, they are having at Esperanza Terrace, there is a room, there's a facility for public education, community education to go coexist to happen on premise, and we would do something similar. But again, I just want to reiterate that this agreement allows the process to begin for UMOM and its subsidiary to go out and seek funding to see if monies can be brought in to support such a project.
Thank you. Is there any other question from the board? Mr. Gelwer?
Madam President, yes. Dr. Ventura, you mentioned UMOM, so is this an exclusive option only to UMOM, or can other entities also come in and try to?
At this time, it's an exclusive option for UMOM, but again, there's language in this agreement
Mhm.
that for whatever reason, we could say, no, we don't want to do this.
Okay, and then just for the record, is this time sensitive? Is there a particular?
Yes,
time?
I mean, that's why it's here in front of us in January, because there's a window where they can go out and seek tax credit monies.
Yeah, typically those are by the summer
Correct.
that we have to be able to do that. And again, the capital stack on this is pretty tedious.
Mhm.
So I know last time, we went through a process where some of those tax credits were time sensitive.
Correct.
And so I just want to make sure we understand that if any one of those, capital stacks doesn't come forward, then the deal just,
Correct.
evaporates,
Right.
basically goes away, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so this is just options, just to give them the opportunity to start the process.
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Any other question from the board? Call for the vote? Motion carries. Next item is item D, second reading of policy revision GCK and GDJ. Mr. Jose Arenas, Chief Human Resource Office, is there a motion?
So moved.
Or
Second.
Mr. Arenas?
Good evening, Madam President, governing board members, and Dr. Ventura. Tonight we bring forth as presented new business, information, and discussion for governing board action, GCK, professional staff assignments and transfers, and GDJ, support staff assignments and transfers. This is presented to you for a second reading and governing board action.
Thank you. Is there any question from the board? Call for the vote.
Madam President, who second?
Ms.
I did.
Jimenez.
And first?
Rudy.
Motion carries. Next item is item E, Student Civic Engagement Washington DC trip. Dr. Lily Mesa Lemus, Assistant Superintendent, Information Discussion Action. Is there a motion?
So moved.
There a second?
Second.
Dr. Lily?
Madam President, members of the board, Dr. Ventura, Isaac Community, we have a request of approval for a field trip for our middle schoolers to Washington, D.C. In the past, in 2 years ago, we took a group of 15 students to Washington, D.C. through a governor's grant. We want to bring that back this year, and we're proposing to bring a group of 28 students, 15 eighth graders that go through an application process like it has been done in the past, and then the 13 middle school students that currently participate in the Superintendent's Student Advisory Council. The proposal is intended to partner up with Close Up, which is the company that manages bringing the students there and the educational experience that the students receive as they visit all the monuments and the historical places in Washington, D.C. Part of this program, the adults that accompany our students also get professional development. The proposal, the estimated cost for students is between 1,107 and 2,282. The specific amount will be set once approved and if approved, based on the time frame that where the students will go. That's why there's a sliding time. We do get, for every 10 students that we enroll in this program, one adult to accompany them for free. So because we're intending to bring 28, we have to pay a little bit of a fee for that third adult to accompany our students for 1,206 estimated value. There's the estimated cost of this proposed field trip. And at this time, I am open for any questions you may have as you consider this request.
Thank you. Is there any question from the board? No? Call for the vote. Motion carries. Thank you. Next item is item F, approval for the purchase and installation of sport lighting from, what is that? Vergara? Vergy for Public de Sol K8 Middle School and Morris K. Utah. Mr. David Morales, Director of Support Services, Information Discussion Action. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Morales?
Madam President, members of the board, Dr. Ventura and community, if you recall from the last previous board meeting, we indicated we would be bringing back two additional schools for sports lighting. We are doing 4 total. The proposals before you are for Pueblo del Sol and Morris K. Udall. The proposals also include the same as the previous one. These are all LEDs. These are new light posts. Includes all new electrical and underground. There is a 25-year warranty as those. There's a 1 year maintenance as far as the installation goes. We don't anticipate there's going to be any issues because again, it's a 25-year warranty, so that'll cover the poles and anything of the light fixtures and stuff. And there are LEDs, so they do have a good timeline on that. So our recommendation today for your approval, we would like you to approve the Fort Bear Energy Pueblo del Sol Middle School for the amount of $522,706. For Morris K. Udall, the total amount for that school is $658,290. There are some permits or fees if required for them. Those are in addition, either $9,000 or $11,000 for each respected school. With your approval, we ask for your approval. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any question from the board?
Madam President, I have one question.
Mr. Santa
I just
Cruz?
wanted to ask you, Mr. Morales, are these energy efficient? I think they are, right?
Well, yeah, they're all LEDs, so the
they're not
lighting,
like they're not like vapor lights and all the other
no,
standards.
they're
right?
LED.
Okay.
Any other question, Mr. Gilwell?
Yeah, Mr. Morales, on the permits and fees, that's not inclusive of, the total cost of 522,706,
No,
right? It's
correct.
additional?
That's in addition to.
Okay, and so is there any opportunity to have those waived, or is that
Well,
gonna be a cost?
Yes, typically with the city of Phoenix, we're not required to do the permitting again, but if it is required, because we are doing some electrical upgrades, depending on where they go there. And that was just so we can replace some of the gear and stuff that we needed to because they were just old. We wanted to update that.
Okay,
Because they actually require less lighting or energy because they're LED. Uh, but I anticipate we're not going to use that, but it's there just in case the city wants us to do it.
okay, so they're just a contingency fee.
Right, it's a contingency for that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other question from the board? Call for the vote. Motion carry. Next item is consent agenda. Is there a motion to approve the whole consent?
So moved.
Second.
Call for the vote. Motion carries. Next item is call to the public. Is there any call to the public?
Madam President, at this time, we have no public requests to address the governing board.
Thank you. Next item is information. Enrollment is 4,875. Calendar. Sorry. Martin Luther King Jr. Day, no school on January 15th. Artificial Intelligent Learning Workshop at Estrella Brillante Learning Center located at 4006 West Osborne Road, Phoenix, Arizona 85009 on January 17th. No, it doesn't say the time, 2024. Next item is next regular governing board meeting will be at Moya Elementary School Thursday, January 25th at 5 p.m. located at 406 North 41st Street Avenue, Phoenix, Arizona 85019. And if I don't hear any objection, meeting adjourned. Thank you.